Hey, this is Jan. It is Tuesday, March 31st, and I apologize for the mix-up on the live stream. My camera would not come on. I could not see anyone. So anyway, we are going to do a YouTube instead. But I hope your week is going well. We've had a little bit of sickness around here, but thankfully everybody is getting better. So we know that it is not coronavirus. So anyway, but I hope you're still progressing in your science. You should be at least a little over halfway through chapter 14 and have written out all of the labs. Some of them, I'm sorry, you may not have had to do because they were kind of unique. And I always have high hopes. I think, okay, I can do all these, but then I realized I can't go out and about because we are quarantining. I have a daughter that is here and she's going to be having a baby within a week or two. So anyway, we're excited about that. So anyway, I just wanted to go over touch on the labs. I just wanted to mention just some of the things that maybe you should have written down. So in the first lab, your own cardiac cycle, I hope you did that on your own. I hope you checked your resting pulse and then checked your pulse after you exercised for a minute. And then did all the different things of dividing and then seeing what it was, what your cardiac cycle was at rest and what your cardiac cycle was when you had exercised. And ultimately, your conclusion should be saying that your cardiac cycle decreased during exercise because it was happening more often. So anyway, 14.2, the capacity of your lungs. I hope you watched that video. That was kind of a fun, cute little family, seeing how much the capacity was in the lungs. So it sounds like the mom was a runner and the dad had asthma. So I think the mom could have done more had she had a bigger bowl, but she didn't have a big enough one. But anyway, so what's interesting is that your capacity should be between 12 and 16 cups, which is about a gallon. That's pretty crazy. So the more athletic you are, the more capacity your lung will have. So in 14.3, the model of your lungs, I did make one, and I made it a little different than the one they had in the book because I felt like what they had in the book was that little sandwich bag wasn't going to do it. So this is actually like a 1 liter plastic jar. And, you know, if you pull on it like this, you can see the diaphragm goes down and the lungs can fill up. And then when the diaphragm relaxes, you exhale and the balloon gets, it releases all the air. So I hope you can see that. It's a fun little model to make. It just has a balloon here, half a bottle, a straw, and then a rubber band putting the balloon to the straw, and then just some clay. So when the results of 14.3 would really be that when you pull down on the diaphragm, the balloon will fill up with oxygen, and then when it relaxes, the diaphragm relaxes, the air exhales out of your body. So, and then the other video I sent you is kind of interesting. You didn't have to watch it all, but I have never ever seen vocal cords before, and it was interesting seeing they vibrate, and then, you know, when they're low they're smaller, and when it's high they're longer. It was pretty cool. Just like when a rubber band is stretched tight, the air passes over and the vibrates high, and then the less tightly contracted the rubber band is, the lower the tone. So now I was just going to go over the answers for the quiz. I hope you had a good time doing that. I know it was a little difficult, especially if you hadn't read the whole chapter. I wanted you to be able, or to have a chance to skim the whole chapter, and so this is going to do it. So, question number 1, true or false? The color red on a picture of veins and arteries denotes oxygenated blood. True. Number 2, blood is flowing through a vein in the leg. Is it flowing up or down the leg? It's going to be flowing up, going toward the heart. Number 3, what makes up more than half of your blood? plasma. Number 4, is this true or false? Mammals and birds have 4-chambered hearts. True. A 4-chambered heart is a much more efficient way of getting oxygen to the cells. Number 5, does a 4-chambered heart mix or not mix oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? It does not mix. Number 6, true or false? The pulmonary artery has deoxygenated blood in it, and the pulmonary vein has oxygenated blood in it. Okay, this is a confusing one, and I hope you found it. So the pulmonary vein takes blood to the lungs to be oxygenated. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I'm reading it and I said that wrong. Okay, well, the answer was true, by the way. So the pulmonary artery takes blood to the lungs to be oxygenated, and the pulmonary vein returns the oxygenated blood to the heart. So that's a little bit opposite than what you're used to, because veins typically come back deoxygenated and want more oxygen. But in this case, this pulmonary vein is taking oxygenated blood to the heart. So that's a tricky one. It's an exception to the rule. Number 7, in experiment 14.1, called Your Own Cardiac Cycle, after you did jumping jacks, would you say your cardiac cycle increased or decreased? Decreased, because the blood needed to get oxygen and macronutrients to the cells more quickly than normal. So the cycle went faster, and it took a shorter amount of time. Number 8, blood platelets perform one purpose, a process that causes clots to form when a blood vessel is broken. What is the name of this process? Coagulation. Number 9, which would be more efficient in terms of getting oxygen into the blood? A lung with lots of little alveoli or a lung with fewer, larger alveoli? Do you know? It's actually the lung with lots of little alveoli. People with emphysema have enlarged alveoli, and this means they get significantly less efficient oxygen exchange with the blood and cannot carry as much oxygen as the cells of the body need. So they end up having shortness of breath, wheezing, and extreme difficulty in breathing. And number 10, true or false? Plants have a circulatory system. This is true. They have to transport food from the leaves to the rest of the plant. And that was the 5th lab, which we didn't do, and you probably have all done in your life, the one with the carnation, and it showed the circulation of a plant. So that's the end of the quiz. I hope you did well. Feel free to take a picture of it and send it to me. I'd love to see it. And then finish your labs up, as many as you want to do. I would say probably the most important ones would be 1, 2, and 3, just watching the videos and filling in afterwards.